Sometimes the WWE ring isn't enough to contain the crazy antics of superstars. Whether wrestlers are busting up through the mat or getting crushed down into it, the ring has been a prop for some pretty memorable moments. This includes fiery explosions, sneak attacks, and lots of moments with Undertaker and Kane. Who would have thought, eh? Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. The Big Show debuts. There are many ways to have a giant wrestler debut in the WWE. They can destroy multiple superstars at once, take out a top wrestler with their strength, or go against the grain and have them come out dancing to disco music. We're looking at you, Brodus Clay. Okay, technically that was a repackaging, but you get the idea. Then, the Big Show's memorable debut at the 1999 Valentine's Day Massacre. The main event pitted Stone Cold Steve Austin against Vince McMahon in a steel cage match for a spot in the main event of WrestleMania. Basically, McMahon got the living hell beat out of him. Just as you thought Austin was finally going to escape the cage, the ring mat tore open and the massive Big Show, or rather Paul White, emerged. The poor sap had to stay hidden under the ring for an extremely long time, but it was all worth it as the larger-than-life superstar seemingly popped up out of nowhere. Years before instant internet spoilers were the norm, his burst through the ring mat was a true surprise and a great debut. He followed up his ring mat entrance with a beatdown of Austin that eventually led to him getting thrown into the cage wall so hard it swung open. Austin got the victory, but fans were all talking about the Big Show in the WWE. Kane pulled Zack Ryder to hell. Let's admit it, the WWE universe is never happy. For years, Kane wore a mask and his character was a true enigma. Fans wanted the mask removed after the character grew stale, but years of maskless Kane led to the demand of the mask to come back. It finally did, and the Demon Kane was reborn, but his storyline was pure garbage. Pitted in a filler story for John Cena and a complete burial for Zack Ryder, the Big Red Machine spent week after week attacking Ryder until Cena made the save. One week on Raw, Ryder was in the ring when Kane tore through the ring mat, his trademark red lights shined over, and he attempted to drag Ryder down into the depths below. Cena ran to the ring to make the save, and the 2-on-1 fight was too much for Kane to handle. After retreating back into his hole, Ryder and Cena looked on as smoke and a huge fiery explosion emitted from it. Sure, the whole thing would have been great for Scooby-Doo's WrestleMania mystery, but it was way too corny to fit into the main event of Raw. Fans probably regretted seeing the masked Kane return. The OG ring bust. Popping up through a torn ring mat may seem more common today, but in 1996 the idea of it was unheard of. In the lead up to WrestleMania 12, there was an in-your-house PPV pit stop. One of the marquee matches of the night featured Bret Hart defending his WWE Championship against Diesel inside of a steel cage. In the weeks prior to the '96 Royal Rumble, Diesel had screwed The Undertaker out of a championship, and the dead man thought of a clever way to get his revenge. Just as Diesel was crawling to escape the steel cage door, the ring mat tore open and The Undertaker emerged. He reached out, grabbed Diesel, and pulled him into the hole as they both disappeared. A mysterious white smoke flew above the hole, fitting with The Undertaker's dark persona. Fans never saw this moment coming, and it was a great way to end the match while still making Diesel look like a title contender. After years of coffins, urns, and long, slow-walking entrances, the ring mat stunt added new life to The Undertaker's character. Naturally, Hart won the match, and The Undertaker would go on to challenge Diesel at WrestleMania 12. Mick Foley's fall from hell. Mick Foley may not be the most fit WWE superstar of all time, but the extra padding around his body has gone a long way in offering him protection when he performs some of his crazy stunts. At the 2000 No Way Out, Foley took on Triple H in a Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. The match was brutal, violent, and really took everything out of both competitors. It was the culmination of a long feud between the two, and each superstar managed to get the best out of each other in the ring. You knew things were going to get really exciting when both Triple H and Foley headed to the top of the cell. The climax of the match featured Triple H reversing a pile driver, flipping Foley over his back, and sending him through the ceiling of the cell. Foley crashed through the cage, and his whole body burst through the ring apron. The Foley-sized crater remained in the ring, but Foley crawled out of it after a couple of minutes. 2 right hands and a pedigree later, though, and Mick Foley was forced into retirement for a few weeks. The Undertaker and Kane's rivalry. The Undertaker and Kane storied rivalry and partnership has been through a lot of ups and downs. With so many years either teaming up or going against each other, they have been through it all. Buried Alive matches, Hell in a Cell matches, Inferno matches. There have also been 2 separate occasions where the ring was busted open or torn through because of their rivalry. The first occurred on an episode of Raw in the year 2000. The Undertaker was using his biker gimmick at the time and took on Chris Benoit. Kane decided to interrupt his brother's match and showcase a little sibling bickering by chokeslamming him through the ring mat. As the dead man lay in the busted ring carnage, Kane made things even worse by stealing his motorcycle. 10 years later, The Undertaker and Kane were at it again in an underwhelming feud that could have been a lot better. One of the highlights of their forgettable encounters was an episode of SmackDown where The Undertaker busted through the ring mat and dragged Kane down into the open hole. This moment helped to set up Buried Alive match where Nexus randomly attacked The Undertaker and helped Kane win against his brother. Wow, don't worry, we still have plenty more ring-busting moments. But first, a quick trivia question. Stay tuned until the end for the answer. Samoa Joe may be a big star on the WWE roster right now, but during his time in TNA, he was pulled through the ring mat by a rival. Can you name the wrestler that attacked him? Kane tricks Seth Rollins. Kane's transition into corporate Kane meant the Big Red Machine replaced his fire and mask with a suit and a tie. But it quickly became clear that we wouldn't have to wait too long for Demon Kane to return. Playing a fun version of dual roles, fans didn't know when Corporate Kane or Demon Kane would appear. This helped create a lot of tension with the character, especially when he started feuding with Seth Rollins. On an episode of Raw back in 2015, Corporate Kane pulled the old tape Titantron video trick on Rollins. As Kane appeared on the Titantron in a pre-taped message, Rollins stood in the ring clueless about the events that were about to occur. Suddenly the lights turned red and Kane busted up through the ring mat like a zombie from the grave. Seth Rollins tried his hardest to fight Kane off, but Kane was victorious this time around, dragging Rollins down to the depths of, the bottom of the ring. Hopefully they didn't disturb Hornswoggle's sleep. Rollins would go on to defeat Kane at the 2015 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, forcing him to get fired as Corporate Kane. And nothing of value was lost. JBL chokeslammed through the ring. People either loved or hated JBL's lengthy run as WWE Champion back in 2004 and 2005. What you can't deny is his ability to deliver some bloody and gruesome matches against the likes of John Cena and Eddie Guerrero. Another bloody affair took place at the 2005 No Way Out, where the Big Show challenged JBL inside a barbed wire steel cage match. Both men bled heavily, showcasing crimson masks that would never be allowed in the current age of WWE. As both competitors battled near the top of the cage, the Big Show took advantage. He grabbed JBL by the neck and chokeslammed him so hard that he burst through the ring mat, destroying the ring in the process. This devastating move should have given the Big Show an easy win, but JBL used the shredded ring mat to his advantage as he crawled out of the bottom of the ring and was declared the winner before the Big Show could escape the cage door. The clever ending was a unique way to end the cage match, and the torn ring mat was a nice nod to the Big Show's debut back in 1999. He ends up having the worst luck when involved in cage matches. Kane goes after a Bella. Kane is no stranger to kidnapping WWE divas for his advantage. Throughout the years, he has captured Kelly Kelly and Lita, among others. The Big Red Machine loves to play mind games, and these games contributed to his feud with Daniel Bryan. On an episode of WWE Raw, Bryan's real-life wife, Brie Bella, was competing in a match against Paige for the WWE Divas Championship. As Bryan supported Brie outside of the ring, you felt like something was bound to happen during the match. The match was going along nicely when all of a sudden the arena lights went completely red and Kane emerged from the ring mat. He clung onto Brie's leg, but Daniel Bryan came in for the save. He desperately fought off Kane as the Big Red Machine was seemingly relentless in capturing the Bella. Just when Kane was about to drag her under, Bryan ran back in the ring with a wrench and clobbered Kane over the skull with it. This gave Bryan and Bella just enough time to escape the ring before Kane rose up again. No matter how many failures Kane has trying to drag his opponents through the ring, he never gives up on using his old tricks. The Ultimate Warrior's Trapdoor. Hall of Fame inductee The Ultimate Warrior had a whirlwind wrestling career. One of the low points was when the Warrior decided to have a brief run in the WCW. Besides refreshing his old feud against Hulk Hogan, the Warrior's time in the WCW was a huge mess, making the character even more obnoxious than he ever was in the WWE. Suddenly, the Warrior had supernatural powers he would use to hunt Hulk Hogan and other members of NWO. The Warrior also insisted on skipping out on his traditional ring entrance so he could magically appear in the ring anytime smoke or fog would appear. In reality, the Warrior bust up through the ring using a trapdoor hidden in a specific area. The biggest example of this came in the 1998 Fall Brawl pay-per-view. The Warrior was a part of the War Games match, and the dual cages all filled with smoke as the Warrior appeared in the middle of the ring. After seeing this shtick more than once, the act was stale and a big waste of time. The trapdoor he went through actually caused a major injury to the British Bulldog earlier in the event. Edge's huge chokeslam. In 2008, one of the best feuds of the year involved Edge and The Undertaker. They fought at WrestleMania 24 and continued to feud up until the Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam. Knowing The Undertaker's destruction in the cell, Edge decided to even the odds by introducing tables, ladders, and chairs into the match. Despite the extra weapons in his favor, The Undertaker got the victory. These two battled hard all over the cell, but it was the post-match actions which really had fans talking. To help put a nail in the coffin, The Undertaker's assault continued after the match. Carrying Edge up a ladder in the middle of the ring, The Undertaker delivered a powerful chokeslam that went Edge bursting through the ring mat below. Edge's body literally disappeared in an instant when he crashed through the canvas so hard and fast. As The Undertaker began his traditional celebration, he added one final touch to the moment by showcasing giant flames shooting up from the gaping hole in the ring. The move and fiery moment was the perfect way to write Edge off television for a few months until his return in the Survivor Series in November. Thanks for watching. Now it's time for the trivia answer. At the 2014 Lockdown pay-per-view, Abyss reached through the mat and pulled Samoa Joe off Magnus while he had the coquina clutch locked in. Joe would escape back into the ring until Abyss climbed out of the hole and cost him the match. Wow, there you have it. Which ring-busting moment did you like the best? Does Kane go through the ring mat too much? And should this tactic be used by other superstars? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Sportster on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome videos.